Crap. Make it out. Okay. We're about to start right now. Okay. We're about to start right now. We're gonna watch 5 hidden messages in popular kid shows. And we'll do another video later on. Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
We often look back fondly on our childhood. They were times of innocence and simplicity, where all that mattered was watching cartoons, playing, and having to go to school. It turns out, though, that even back then, we were being subjected to hidden meanings and naughty imagery, because the people that made our
Have you seen that one in
adults with a sick sense of humor, with an opportunity to include secret messages. In this video, we'll be revealing the truth behind 5 messages of popular kids shows. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every week for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5, DuckTales. After starting in 1987, DuckTales went for 100 episodes, had its own movie, paved the way for subsequent Disney animated shows, and was even rebooted in 2017 for a modern twist on the show. But it wasn't just race cars, lasers, and airplanes that the residents of Duckburg had to contend with.
Have you watched most of the episodes?
Yeah.
Oh crap, Nazi.
Was going on in the town. DuckTales is a cartoon that featured lots of hidden messages,
Whoa.
and one in particular stands out in the minds of conspiracy theorists. Back in the 80s, the idea of
Isn't that,
study was only
Pearl
known by a select few
Harper?
people, either
No,
those
don't
involved
think
in
so.
No, that was
mysterious
Pearl Harbor.
organizations, or ones who devoted their lives to exploring the secret society. Nowadays, of course, it's a different story, and this may be in part due to DuckTales. In an episode
I've seen that
called
one.
Dumpy Ducks, the one where Scrooge catches a case of loot lice from swimming in his money, he has to visit the doctors. While he waits in the doctor's office, you can see all the usual items you'd expect to see there. But if you look closer at the eye chart, you'll notice a hidden message. It says, "Ask about the Illuminati." A clear reference to the underground collective, and one of the first examples of the world
That's
awakening
nice.
to the possibility that they may exist. Of course, to the casual viewer, this wasn't noticeable. It's only since stories of the Illuminati made the rounds
How's it?
noticed hidden messages like this. But what was it there for? Did it mean that one of the reasons for Scrooge...
What?
Saying we'll be right back.
Oh. Okay, we're back. We have to do something real quick. Okay.
to the cult, but in a less than obvious way. We'll probably never know the true intentions of whoever put it there, but it's just the first in a long line of examples of hidden messages and imagery that have been prevalent in entertainment of all forms for as long as people can remember.
Man.
Oh, that was funny.
A113. While the creators of popular entertainment shows have the ability to put their wildest ideas on screen, particularly in kids' TV, they add hidden meaning to their production. There's one secret phrase that shows up in a wide range of movies and shows that suggests a link between all of them. While the link is very real, it's maybe not as mysterious as you may initially think.
Just Easter
It
eggs.
does, though, signal a secret society within the world of animation and in broader film, with each person associated with it known to help each other out in securing important jobs within the production process.
That's
The code in question
serious.
is A113. And you wouldn't believe how often it makes it into shows for both kids and adults. A few that have featured it include The Simpsons, The Powerpuff Girls, Tiny Toon Adventures, and Rugrats. The code also Dad and BoJack Horseman, as well as every Pixar movie ever made, and numerous other movies like The Hunger Games, The Avengers, and Mission Impossible. It's usually quite cleverly hidden, as a license plate number, door numbers, or even access codes. But what, you may ask, is the meaning behind it? Well, it's an inside joke between alumni of the California Institute of Arts, which has taught animation and directing heavyweights like John Lasseter, the creative
we'll be
officer of
back.
Pixar, Tim Burton.
Okay, we're
Wait,
back again.
I'm still here.
Clea, get out already. Okay, we're gonna start it.
And directing heavyweights like John.
Please, if you're subscribed to their channel, unsubscribe. It's Abby Got Ramens 04.
Never subscribe.
Okay.
Lasseter, the creative officer of Pixar, Tim Burton,
Whoa,
and
spooky.
Brad Bird, a renowned Hollywood
That's
scriptwriter.
alcoholic.
They all
Drunk
took classes
alcoholic.
in the same room at the college. You guessed it, room number A113. It's a place that's seen
Pretty
some of the
spooky.
most influential filters and is currently used as the first-year graphic design studio. John Lasseter once said, "It's one of those little things you have to look for," and its first use has been traced back to the 1987 show Amazing Stories in tribute to his alma mater. Alumni of the Institute quite often employ others that have studied there because they're looking for the best of the best, and they know that all graduates provide a high caliber of work. The prevalence of the code shows how successful those who have studied at the college have gone on to be, and reinforces the fact that if you want to develop a career, particularly in animation, it's one of the best places you can go. Powerpuff Accident. Often showing up just in time to fight crime and trying to save the world, the Powerpuff Girls first hit the screens as its own show on Cartoon Network in 1998. There were, in total, 78 episodes and a Christmas movie during the first run, and the adventures of Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup went on to spawn a series of comics, a Japanese anime version called Powerpuff Girls Z, and, more recently, a 2017 reboot. With so many episodes having been produced, there are loads of in-jokes, secret messages, and references. But one of the funniest jokes that you probably missed when you first saw it came in the episode Super Friends. It was the 7th episode of the 4th season, and in it, the girls make friends with a new neighbor called Robin Snyder. Of course, keeping a friendship at the same time as battling evil can be tough, and their relationship soon becomes strained by their inability to keep any arrangements that have been made. Towards the beginning of the episode, Bubbles introduces Robin to the others and takes her back to their house to play and to meet Professor Utonium. During the meeting, the professor introduces himself, and Bubbles explains that he made us in his laboratory by accident. He sheepishly responds, "Well, what can I say?" To which Robin replies, "Don't worry, Professor, I was an accident too." The professor's eyes bulge at this moment as a cheeky nod to the joke. But within the madness of the show, very few people actually picked up on the true meaning. Was she simply trying to make the professor feel better about the experiment that created the Powerpuff Girls and imbued them with their superpowers? Or was she really saying how her parents didn't intend on having her? Currently in America, it's estimated at as much as 50% of pregnancies are unplanned, so it could very well be a clever social commentary that made its way into the script. This, by no means, is the only line like this in the show, though, and it's definitely worth going back over old episodes to see what else you can find. Number 2, SpongeBob. Names and jokes. He's the world's favorite sea sponge that lives in a pineapple under the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants was first broadcast in 1999 and has become an animation juggernaut. In the following 18 years, it's thought the franchise has generated over $13 billion in merchandising revenue alone. And that's before you take into account the 225 episodes, 2 movies, and a Broadway musical. The show has won countless awards and even led to a newly discovered species of fungi being named after the lead character in 2011. With so many episodes, it's hardly a surprise that there are hidden messages throughout, and there are loads of them. From sexual references, for example. Most episodes have a phallic object somewhere, to references about sexual diseases. It has them all. Besides, why else do you think the Krusty Krab was built in Bikini Bottom? The names of the characters are also questionable. SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs, Sandy the Squirrel, to name a few. There's also the time SpongeBob was caught watching porn, where Squidward was doing something unholy with a vacuum cleaner, and endless other jokes, like the French character called the Tickler. One of the most interesting theories of hidden messages in the show, though, is that each of the main characters represents one of the 7 deadly sins. For example, is SpongeBob a representation of lust with his a sloth, always preferring to hide under his rock? Sandy the Squirrel is obviously pride, mean old Squidward is wrath, Mr. Krabs is greed, and Gary the Snail is gluttony. Oh, and don't forget Plankton, a clear example of envy. Once this has been pointed out to you, it seems so obvious. Steven Hillenburg has yet to confirm or deny whether this is actually an intended message within the show, but the character traits seem way too spot on for this to not be the case. Next time you watch it, keep an eye out for all the telltale signs, and see whether you feel there's an overarching commentary being made about behavior. Number 1.
Some people say it could be true.
This brings us back to Disney cartoons, which have a
my
wealth of
allergies.
hidden messages wherever you look. We've already spoken about the A113 code that features in most of their movies from recent times, but that's just scratching the surface of what they've hidden in their animations over the years. It's long been suggested that all of the Pixar movies actually exist in the same universe, for example, but it seems to be wider than that. Most
How?
Disney movies actually have characters from other movies in them, sometimes even appearing years before they become movie stars in their own right. Goofy, Mickey, and Donald Duck were in The Little Mermaid. The Beast was in
I
Aladdin,
remember seeing that.
and the Magic Carpet,
I don't
Belle,
remember.
and Pumbaa all appeared in a
I
street
seen that
scene in
one
The
where,
Hunchback of Notre Dame. There are also some darker messages if you look close enough. For example, this scene from The Lion King may seem fine, but if you actually make out the
Whoa.
shape of the stars, you'll see an unexpected
great.
message, and it doesn't stop there. One of the most controversial themes that go unmentioned within their cartoons is that of cannibalism. And we're not talking about the entirely inappropriate 1930s animation, The Cannibal Capers.
Whoa.
Put it this way, in Disney, all of the animals are human-like. Most wear clothes and can talk to each other. This would suggest that they have a certain level of intelligence, like humans, but on a number of occasions, they're seen hunting and eating members of the same species, even if their dinner has also at some point been seen talking and communicating too. Donald Duck is the main culprit of this, and he was known to get his nephews involved in the consumption of someone that could have quite easily have been another uncle of theirs.
What?
Is this, along with the aforementioned cannibal capers, a message from Disney to imply that cannibalism's actually okay?
Yeah,
Or is it
pause
simply
this.
a creative
We're gonna
choice?
pause
because
it
a
for the
duck on
freaking
dinner
last
table is
time.
a normal
This is
thing
the
to
last
see.